Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are staying safe and warm in this wacky winter that we are having. So, based on the title and the picture that you see in front of you, today's question is, how much biochar is too much? And I don't have a full answer for you, but I have a question that will answer it for you once you answer that question. If you are using it, it depends on what you're using it for. So as you can see, I am making biochar here, and I will add pictures later. Here's a picture of the biochar being used along with the sawdust in the chicken coop and in the duck coop, so that it absorbs the nitrogen and smell from the duck waste and chicken waste. It allows the chickens and ducks to peck at it and mulch it in with their waste when I clean it out every 6 months, and when I clean it up a little bit each month as it is. And you can see I add some of the finer stuff here in this photo to the chicken and duck feed itself, so that they can just munch on that and spread it around with what feed they do waste. And you can see here I add some to the horse mangers so that it gets absorbed into their urine and it absorbs into their waste. The chickens will go through this, especially once I have it out on the manure pile. Here you can see I added a little bit to the cow grain when I do feed my cows. This just helps pull any parasites through them, any infections, malnourishments, etc. But it also puts it directly in their waste stream, which helps process it so it's already charged when it comes out the other end. This just acts like activated charcoal when you feed it to yourself or your other animals. And then you can see I add it just directly to the manure pile or to the worm farm. And I usually add all of my ashes directly to the manure pile as well. And being in a place that already has a tremendous amount of nutritious soil, and quite a bit of it, and since I've been building the topsoil for years now, this is just another added nutritional bonus. I really don't need to make all that much. I typically have 5 to 10 gallons and 5-gallon pails, as you saw, on hand. But I've been making a little bit more, especially since I've been upgrading my raised bed so I can incorporate that more. And I've been doing it a little bit more since I learned how beneficial it is for the soil anyways. But like I said, it all depends on how much you're using it. I don't have to make that much because my soil is already very nutritional. I already have really good compost, really good topsoil, and I'm not really trying to build up all of that right now. If I was someplace, I've referenced Jack Spirko in the Survival Podcast a couple of times before. There's a link in the description to his page and all of his stuff and all of his resources. If I lived someplace like where he is, I would definitely be adding a lot more. I would be making all that I can. If I was someplace like the Amazon, where I have a lot of flash floods, which we've been having around here, I would be making it a lot more because it helps hold the nutrients in the soil and helps prevent it from just washing away. I would also be building different methods of retaining the soil and flood control so that it doesn't wash away all of my topsoil and compost as it is anyway. If I was more of like the swamps of Louisiana, again, it would depend on what you're trying to do with it. If you're using it just to build up, you've got plenty of organisms living in that soil. You'd just be doing it for nutrition control so it doesn't wash away in floods. which again you can do with levees. If you're more mountainous on a lot of hard rock, do it, especially in your raised beds, and just build up the topsoil again. If you're someplace where there is already a lot of topsoil, you don't have to do it as much. Like I said, I still do it for my needs. I add it to the chicken sawdust and horse sawdust and the cow sawdust when I do it, and it helps absorb all of that. So it's more of, as I need it, I'll keep a steady supply on hand. I won't intentionally just make a lot of it. There is a video in the link description below of a guy in Florida, and right beside it is my link of making his method of making biochar. And I will be doing that when I go clear sections of my pasture and around the edges of my pastures, and then I'll be using that biochar just back into the nature to help build it up. But it's more of just, it's an extra step that I may or may not use instead of chipping the brush or just plain out burning the brush. It all depends on how time consuming and energy consuming it ends up being. So, didn't really answer the question, just gave you more ideas to think about and why you're doing it. If you're doing it simply because it's the new hip fashion, make it. Or if you're doing it because you're worried about all the topsoil, it's great, do it. But in the end, also consider time efficiency and getting projects done for yourself as well. Hustling is a great thing to do, especially when you're younger. But if you're doing something solely for itself, it's not so much as good as if you had something else you could be doing more for yourself, building up your lifestyle or taking care of yourself. So, if you're still with, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, share your thoughts, and stay safe and warm, everybody.